This is Author Conversations, the Stenhouse Publishers podcast. In today's podcast, Kelly Gallagher discusses his concern about the lack of background knowledge among his students and how he uses real-world text in class to create more literate readers, writers, and citizens.
Well, as we're recording this, I'm in my last week of school, and my summer begins next week. And one of the things that I appreciate about summer is it's really the only time of the year in which I can step away from the intensity of the job and sort of begin the reflection for next year. As I go through the year, I make notes on some things that I want to consider when I have a little bit of downtime, and each and every year I choose one area in which I want to improve. When I think about next school year, I already know that one area that I want to improve is this notion of getting my kids to do a lot more reading and writing in the real world, much more real-world text, newspapers, magazines, speeches. One of my concerns with my readers and writers is that they do not come to class with a very wide base for prior knowledge and background. They can read the words. Fluency is not a problem, but because they come to class so narrow in their background, they have a very hard time comprehending. I teach in an urban school, for example, and I had a 9th grade class this year that literally of my 22 students who were in that class, not one of them could tell me who the Vice President of the United States is. So I'm concerned that we are making kids jump through this hoop and that hoop to pass tests, but I think there's a larger concern here, and I think the larger concern is that we're producing test takers who really have no vision of what's really happening in the world. So this year, this coming year, I'm going to make a concerted effort to bring in more real-world text, to get them to read more fiction and nonfiction. One way I addressed that this year is we did a lot of writing that spun off of something I call the article of the week. I would bring in an article of the week each Monday to class that really, frankly, had nothing to do with the prescribed curriculum, but it was generally some sort of an article or an editorial or an essay about something that was going on in the world, because I don't think we will ever produce literate readers and writers if we don't build on their prior knowledge and background and understanding of the world. What good is it what good does it serve my children if I can teach them to identify foreshadowing in Lord of the Flies, but they don't know who the Vice President of the United States is? So it seems to me that one of my missions is imperative that I address that lack of knowledge about the world outside the walls of their community or the walls of the high school.
To learn more about Kelly's approach to literacy, check out his books Teaching Adolescent Writers, Deeper Reading, and Reading Reasons, and his DVDs, Building Adolescent Readers, and 20 Questions Homework, all available online and through your Stenhouse distributor. Thanks for listening.